Climate change is a growing problem that affects the entire world all at the same time. Temperatures have been rising over the years, and it's now becoming too hot for our planet to handle anymore. Sea levels are beginning to rise and warm up, which threatens to put entire countries underwater in the future. Weather has also noticeably gotten worse over time, with bigger weather events becoming more extreme. Climate changes also release many more greenhouse gases, which can be dangerous to our atmosphere. The climate change is hurting economies and is costing a lot of money and even some lives. Poor people and people who can't shelter themselves are suffering the most. However, people are beginning to become aware of this issue and are starting to make a difference with things like renewable energy and reducing the carbon emissions in our world. To start making changes internationally, countries have begun to adapt to the Paris Agreement. In this agreement, all countries agreed to work to limit the global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees. As of April 2018, 175 parties have ratified the Paris Agreement, and 10 developing countries had submitted their first iteration of their national adaptation plans for responding to climate change.
Climate change affects countries on a local, national, and global scale. The Paris Agreement, which is an agreement by countries around the world to combat climate change, aims to keep a global temperature rise this century to under 2 degrees Celsius. Powerful countries such as the United States, Germany, and China have all joined the Paris Agreement. Other important climate change initiatives include the COP21, where all 196 parties involved in the Paris Agreement agreed to the terms. COP22, where all parties began to prepare for the actions that will be taken in the agreement, and COP23, where multiple leaders of key nations involved met to discuss how to speed up the process of combating climate change effectively and on time. These individual countries are all taking their own measures to reduce climate change themselves, as well as helping out on a global scale. Communities throughout these countries also take their measures to combat climate change. Overall, the hope for the Paris Agreement and the Climate Action Goal is to be properly prepared to combat the effects of climate change.